Kia ora, welcome into the form for another week where we preview the best races coming up over the weekend. And our feature this week will be out of Te Rapa with the Group 2 Caluzu Stakes. It's also Waikato Cup Day, and we head to Trentham as well for the Eulogy Stakes. So that's my opportunity to say hello to our first panellist in Leith Innes. Good morning, Leith.
Yeah, morning, Pip. Can't wait to get to Te Rapa on Saturday. Some great fields going around with some really even betting races as well.
Yeah, there certainly is. And the man to my left this time in studio is Bevan Sweeney. Good morning to you, Bevan.
Morning, Pip. Great to be in Auckland. Well, a little bit. The traffic's horrific compared to Marama, but we got here on time. 3 meetings across the country on Saturday, so the hoops are spread thin and far, but we've got a couple of decent sort of meetings across the country to really look at.
And stop the presses, because we've got the great man in studio as well for our special show, George Simon. Good morning, George.
Good morning, Pip. Thanks for the introduction. I was wondering who the hell you were talking about there for a little while, but no, nice to be joining you guys here on the form and looking forward to what should be a great weekend. I feel like I've won the lottery here, because we were at Ellerslie the other day, of course, and it is great to be back at Ellerslie. We had the trials there, and the reports coming out of Ellerslie after the trials from the jockeys, the trainers, everyone associated with it was fantastic. The commentator certainly enjoyed being back in his favourite commentary box in the world.
Oh, I can imagine, George. Cannot wait to be back at Ellerslie, on track just to catch the action. So let's have a look firstly about this weekend's racing and have a look at the agenda. We'll be starting with the Te Rapa preview, the Caluzu Stakes, the Group 2 action in race 6, the racetrack is the Eulogy Stakes down at Trentham, the Queen of Hearts preview with the whale, Alexandra Parker, in play on Friday, best of the rest out of Te Rapa, and our best bets to round out the show. Time for our feature preview. It is out of Te Rapa. It's the Group 2 Caluzu Stakes. So time to head to you, Leith Innes. What's the weather and track conditions looking like come Saturday?
Yeah, by Saturday, Pip, it looks like the track's going to be perfect. Looks like it's going to be a good 4. Bark Cowan's put 20 mils of rain in the last 48 hours. And from now to Saturday, looks like there could be a high of 24 degrees. So it's going to be perfect conditions.
A day you want to get out for a Waikato Cup day and tune into the action. So let's have a look at our feature, see who heads the betting in race number 6. It is Pearl of Alsace at 2.40, Campanessa there at 2.7, and then you're getting out to Valare at $7. So does look to be 2 that are fighting out favouritism up the top of the book. What about the speed, Leith? It is over the mile. Where do you see them setting up early?
Hope there's actually no speed in this race. There's no clear leader. Pearl of Alsace, she's got blinkers on for the first time. Wouldn't be surprised if they go forward on her. Valare could, even from the barrier 1, she could be just end up in front by default. Thought Campanessa would go forward as well, but in the past, this has been one of those races where it is an on-speed sort of race.
There you go, that's what speed is in the race. So what about some form videos? Let's start with the first runner we want to touch on, and we'll take you back to Pearl of Alsace in the Matriarch Stakes. Good enough run here for 4th, Leith, because she got a little bit of a bump early on as well.
Yeah, it was a good effort, Pip. Obviously, she's had a little bit of a freshen up since this race, and the best thing about her, I think the blinkers are going to really suit her this week.
Quality mare. It's hard to tip against Pearl of Alsace coming off this sort of performance. Look, there's probably bigger fish to fry through this preparation. Blinkers go on, and the speed map probably suits her, Georgie class.
Yeah, she is. And I think importantly too, the drop back in distance will suit her. She, over the last 2 runs, have been over 2,000 metres. She just quite hasn't finished it off. But with the blinkers on, as Leith said, she'll be a very competitive chance on Saturday.
Campanessa, she was very well ridden last start. Matt Cameron saved all the ground on the inside, and it's good to see Opie Bossum back on this week. She was really impressive. All horses had their chance in this race, and you would think she would have improved with this run as well.
Right, won the race, but it was good to see a very good mare back in form. Like, if the draw works out with that speed map, she should find a forward position. From there, we know that she'll run the race out very, very truly, and if she seems to be back to somewhere near her best on this performance. Yeah,
she was a lovely ride, as you say. The ride won the race last start, but she's going to be very competitive on a track that she's shown to advantage previously.
Valare looks like a really good chance in the race, especially from barrier 1. She was well ridden last start by Warren, and it was Daniel Narkley's birthday last start when she won, and they got the chocolates for sure.
Got there in the last pipsqueak, Valare, pretty close run thing. Polygon's unlucky back in the field, having to find clear air. Like that performance, Valare's a horse that might be, as Leith mentioned, George, by default in front, and that'll make it difficult to beat.
Yeah, that could be, but what I really liked about her last start win was she looked as though she was going to win easily at the 300 metres. But she really had to fight and dig deep, and she did. Look, the Wizard of Woz, he just knows how to ride these horses and puts them in the best spot. From barrier 1, you would think it could be a positive ride, considering, as Leith mentioned, that there's no real natural pacemakers in the race.
Interesting runner, Zalia. She loves Tirapa. I think Matt Cameron's going to really suit her this week. She's got the perfect draw to just posse just on the speed. And look, I think the better track. Last season she wasn't really coping these good sort of 4 tracks, but she looks like she's matured now. And this is a really good effort behind El Vencedor.
Well, El Vencedor took off on Ethan for dead. I think it's a similar sort of a race pattern for it this afternoon or on Saturday. And look, I just prefer a couple of others in the race. The horse is going very, very well and will be winning again, just for me, just outside the top couple. Yeah,
I'm the same. I think she's always a chance on her favourite track, Sailor. She's got a nice anti-barrier draw, good jockey. She'll be put in the race and she'll be there or thereabouts. But whether or not that's good enough to win, I'm not sure.
This horse is really unlucky at Riccarton. She's obviously has to do a bit of travelling in the meantime, but, I think if they go, she's got a tricky gate where she's going to probably have to come off the speed again, so she's going to need a lot of luck.
Look, I think she's the match of Fashion Shoot. Fashion Shoot gets to split through and just shows a little bit better turn of foot. She's flown over 1,400 metres. The previous effort was over the mile, and that was a very good effort. Look, I think she's really disrespected in the market coming up for Kim Reid, but the race pattern probably doesn't suit Hoyo's Sasbon with the early speed in the particular race. But hey, 21s and bit of change, George. I think an each way chance.
That was a good run. That was a very good run. I like the way how it attacked the line over the final stages, and that augurs well. But whether or not she's got the class of Pearl of Alsace and Campionessa at the top remains to be seen.
Okay, as my top selection is clearly Pearl of Alsace to win. However, I'm going to tip you out to Hoyo Sasbon at an each way price. Do like the top 4 money at around about $3.
Yeah, I'm all around Pearl of Alsace. I think the blinkers are a big help. Sean Ritchie, Colin Murray, the horses are flying at the moment as well. So I think she's going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, it's always demoralising when Leith Innes start tipping your horses that you like in the race as well. The two of us are on Pearl of Alsace. Probably enough to stop her, but I think her class factor will kick in the last 100 metres.
There you go. That's what the guys are liking in the feature. Make sure you tune into the action on Saturday. It kicks off at 3:49. Yes, it's racetracker time on the form runners that may have caught the eye. And first cab off the rank is Leith Innes. So who have you found this week, Leith?
Yeah, he's pretty easy to find, Pip. Agon. Look, he's come from last. He's run home in 33.58. He didn't have a lot of luck in the straight. And look, he was drawing barrier 17. He's going to be headed to the Zebel Classic on the 26th, Boxing Day. Big roomy track at Pokako is going to really suit him. I think he's been out of the winner's circle for a little while, but he deserves a win soon.
He was massive. And no more clip-on gates. That's a relief to everyone. I am going to take you to a horse for Robbie Patterson. His team is really on fire. Look for the Sandy Cookson colours coming centre track now. The winner comes down through the inside. This horse just got held up enough to lose a little bit of momentum. You can see it change its lead leg here on a couple of occasions. When it does get clear, it does put in inside runner just so it gets a little bit of a break. But the last bit of this was very, very good. It'll step up over a little bit more ground in its next start, and I'm pretty sure it'll be winning.
My race tracker, we go back to Pukekohe Park last Saturday. It was in the second race on the program, and the horse I'm naming is With Grace. Out wide in the Go Racing colours with the white cap. Just prior to this, at the 600 metre mark, she was stone motherless last. She's looped the field, joined in and hit the lead far too early down the home straight. And she was only just beaten by a promising type in Moss Invader. I think With Grace, trained by Kylie Hoskin, is going to be a horse to follow with confidence. She's filly by Ocean Park. That was just her second race day start. She had winner written all over her next up.
And I'm going to take you back to Rotorua on Sunday, the last race of the day, and pop out Francie. That's her at the back there with the red cap on. She had to go back from a wide alley, and Vinny's trying to find clear air up the home straight. Once he does, she is absolutely flowing, just misses picking up the win. And she had the fastest closing sectionals right across the board. Nice form race with Caravella and the likes of Arrowette in there as well. So I do think she's a horse that should be picking up another win very shortly. Here's a summary. We'll start with Leith. He's with Agon. Sinbin for Bevan. George is with Grace. And I'm with Francie. Note them down and pop them in your race trackers. We head to Trentham now, where we take a look at the Eulogy Stakes. So, of course, we had Trentham in play last week. Bevan, what are we looking like for the conditions this weekend?
Well, there was that front that blew through in the last 26 hours. So there's been a little bit of rain there. It's come up a soft 7 at the present moment. We've got a couple of decent sort of days leading into Saturday, and then there There's some rain forecast on Saturday. There's been a fair bit of racing clearly at Trentham with the Awapuni track out of play at the present moment. So there's a bit of wear and tear there, but all in all, as long as that race doesn't come too strongly on Saturday, it'll be okay.
Well, let's have a look here at the Group 3 Lawmaster Eulogy Stakes. It is race number 7 on the program, over the mile for the fillies. Shanti Lace heads the betting at $5. It's been a bit of money for Vivacious, $7 into 5, still bang on at 6.5. Chica Mojito and one other two, Cyclone, $10 into 7.50 has been a mover. As we have a look at them across the page as well, your two outsiders, $41s and $61.
I think Shanti Lace is the benchmark in this particular race with what she's done throughout the season. And if they do get rain on Saturday, albeit she's not a weak tracker, it will advantage her for sure. The other runner in this particular race, Kenshi, I thought did a good enough job to be competitive, but she's a bit of a benchmark, Leith.
Yeah, look, she's going very honest at the moment. She's probably looking for that little bit of cut in the track, but look, she's been up a very long time, so it's going to be a good training effort by Chrissy Branbury if she performs to her potential on Saturday.
Race ace comes out of the meeting at Wanganui, and it's a very, very hard track to assess because it was almost impossible to make up a lot of ground on the entire day. And of course, the winner just came out of the right form race and won with a fair bit of authority, but I did like the way she gripped the ground a little bit and attacked the line, Leith.
Yeah, she attacked the line really well, Bevan, and look, she was drawing barrier 12 in that race, and she gets a barrier 2 on Saturday. So look, if she gets the mile, being by Swiss Ace, she's got to be a top 4 chance. Mizukudo
for Te Akau. They have a handful in here, and this was a really good performance. A little bit hit and miss this horse, but it was very good on the day here at Rickon when it came to the outside and really hit the line strongly. And a decent form race going into this particular type of race. Yeah, look, it was a soft 7 this day as well. So, look, she's going to cop the track if it gets out to that slow sort of soft range. Look, you'd think the step up to the mile is going to really suit her as well, being by Tavachi. And we've got one coming out of Taranaki. That is New Millennium. We're taking you back to November 24, over 1,400 metres, and you can see Champagne Linda. I just didn't really know how to frank the form up on this occasion out of this particular meeting going into a black type race, Leith.
Yeah, Ben Foot's got 3 runners in the race as well. So, look, she looks like a big, strong sort of type, being by Charm Spirit. She attacked the line well, though, and you think the mile will suit her.
Still bang on. Might be bang on for Saturday coming out of this performance where it got back and really hit the line strongly. I think there's a lot of potential here and a horse that you might be able to follow going forward into the summer. A nice horse, this one, Lethal.
Yeah, she was very unlucky last start at Pokakoe, and she done well to pick herself up. Look at Tiara, this was a soft 6. She hit the line very well, so I really think the big roomy track at Trentham's going to suit her as well.
There's a lot of opportunities in this particular race for black type, clearly with some horses that are really developing nicely. And here's another one, and this is Vivacious. Now, I know they've got a decent sort of opinion of this particular horse. It got held up, as you'll hear in George's call, before getting clear. But once clear, I think the most notable thing, Leith, was that Opie was pretty kind to this horse and had a little bit left if he really needed it.
I think it's a pretty good form race as well. Opie timed his run to perfection. You think by Dundee, the filly should get a mile. I'm just a little bit worried if that track gets into that soft range, though.
Look, I'm going to go with Vivacious. I know they've got a decent sort of opinion of this particular horse. It was a good effort under Opie. He was very kind. It's a horse that's going to develop with more time, but I think it's well capable on Saturday. It's been found in the market as well. So going with Vivacious for Te Akau in the feature at Trentham.
I'm on still bang on, Bevan. Look, Santano and Lato filly, she was a beautiful type. I think the mile's going to really suit her. And look, I think if it does get to a sort of soft 6, she's going to be okay in the track.
There you go. The guys are liking 2 in the Group 3 Eulogy Stakes. That's race number 7 on the program. First race is at 1:10 Te Abbey Trackside 1 on Saturday. It's time for the harness segment with Craig Thompson, and this week it is Alexandra Park that takes centre stage. Craig, as I say, a very good morning to you with the Group 1 Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, good morning to you, Philippa. Good morning, viewers. Really looking forward to Friday night. Yeah, Group 1. Taken out last year by All American Lover, and she's at $12 this week because of the dominance of her stablemate, Nardi's Express. Let's have a look at the market for the Group 1. She's $1.65 on the back of that Breeder Stakes win last week. You've got Manhattan at $3.60. She's the gate speed in the race. Lovely draw comes into barrier 1. Lady of the Light, 3-time Group 1 placed $8.50, and last year's winner at $12. The key video and the key lead-up race was from last week. Let's have a look at it. So as they turn for home, you've got Lady Lady of the Light in front here. On its outside now is Artie's Express. In the 1-1 in the green colours is Manhattan. And last on the inside and looking for a little bit of room is Life's a Beach. And as we rolled it on here, they only dashed up the lane. It was a very slowly run race. It was a quick last quarter, 55 last half. And Lady of the Light stuck nicely. Artie's Express started to get wound up by Zach Butcher and just put that big neck out at the right time. Manhattan ran on nicely, good splits out of the race nicely. And the horse in the Woodlands colours here, hitting the line well as Life's a Beach. Had to talk to Steve Telfer last night about Artie's Express. Has come through the race really well. And with a nice barrier draw, you can understand why she's been spec'd from 220 to 165. If I'm playing into the race, I like Manhattan. I think she'll lead. I think she's the horse to catch. And I think a top 2 option at $1.90 is probably better than the favourite at $1.65. Now, the other main race on the night is the Thames Trot. It's a good field. It's for a good stake. We've got a hot lineup here. Let's have a look at it. So Resolve, Group 1 placed. She's $2.30, of course, coming through the Dominion and the Group 1 free-for-all. Congrazia Love, $4.80. Sacred Mountain, $7.50. And All Cashed Up, who $7.50 starts off the back mark. Key video for me is 2 weeks ago at the Franklin Trials. Horse that I thought trialled really nice is Congrazia Love. Let's pick them up. The horses in the purple colours here. Sean McCaffrey trains, Morris McKendry drives, and she gets home really nicely. She tracks the horse in the green. The horse in the green is a horse called Break Free. Now, it lined up Alexandra Park last week, Break Free, $51, and nearly caused a major upset. Congrazia Love rolls over the top of her. They trotted 3:16. What that means is a mile and a half and 3:8. An excellent time. I thought she's come back really well, and more importantly, she's got a 10-metre advantage over the back marker Resolve, and that may be enough. You're getting a nice price, $4.80. And don't forget this time last year, she won the Group 1 Oaks. Nice price. Congrazia Love, she'd been my each-way play. A lot of respect around Resolve and also All Cashed Up. Looking forward to the action, Philippa, on Friday night. Of course, Group 1 action headed up by the Queen of Hearts. We'll be on track with Nicole Sims after 5 o'clock.
Thanks, Craig. Really looking forward to it. Make sure you do check out those markets too. They are open, tab.co.nz, and catch the action, as Craig said, on Friday. We head back to Te Rapa for the best of the rest, the 2 Group 3s to look forward to. And we'll start with the JSOP Sprint, race number 4 on the program. The open handicap over the 1,400 metres, headed in the betting by Romancing the Moon, in from $3.80 to $3.30. Cognito at $5.50 in this market. And then you're getting out to a runner like Arisa Reese and our Alley Cat at $6.08. Across the page, you can see the 2 outside chances there, Digger and Kivahan at $41. Well, Leith, it's over the shortest trip, so surely there's some speed in it. How do you see it setting up? Yeah, certainly a big field of 14. He looks like he's good even tempo. Kiva Hahn and Wessex probably looked like the natural one of those 2 leaders. Look, Alley Cat was really well ridden last start by Opie. Look, she was knocked over at Pokekohe, and I think Opie really suits this horse. He'll go forward. And Romancing the Moon, look, she looks like she's going to get a nice sit just behind the pace. There you go. That's how Leith sees the race panning out. What about the form videos? We're going to start with the race out of Pukekohe, and we'll take you back to, firstly, our Alley Cat in this performance. And you could hear it in George's call. Leith wasn't really what we were expecting from her, just dwelling at the start. No, she got knocked over at the start, as we saw, Pip, and like she's done all right to finish the race off. It was sort of on-pace sort of race. But, you know, back to Te Rapa, I think she's going to be well suited.
I liked her performance at Alley Cat after missing away. I thought she really put herself in the mix late, which is against normal sort of pattern for her. It proves to me, George, that the horse is going really, really well, and things work out Saturday. They'll be catching or finding it hard to catch. She was unlucky this day at Pukekohe. She had her chances extinguished at the start. She got back. She was never a winning chance from there on, and I thought she did okay, as you mentioned, in finishing as close as what she did. She's a natural on-speed horse, and with a better getaway on Saturday, Opie aboard, can expect her to be right there. Yeah, Romancing the Moon was really good last start over 1,100. I think the step up to 1,400 metres is probably going to be ideal for her. This is a pretty hot field, Babylon Berlin and Sacred Tano, so the form out of it's going to stack up, but she does look well placed this week. Just got left flat-footed, didn't she? When the real pressure went into this particular race, and there's some very smart horse flesh in front of her, and she hit the line nicely. She looked set and ready to win. Everybody saw her finish off this race, and that was the eye catcher, apart from the first 2 horses who are 2 of our best sprinters in the country. She was attacking the line, Romancing the Moons, and Jodlin Gal didn't shirk the issue as well, finishing up in 4th spot in that race.
Wolverine's been a bit disappointing for mine. Look, she hasn't really shown the form that she showed as a 2-year-old when she was in New Zealand. Since then, she's obviously had a hard campaign in Australia. And look, she looked good enough galloping here. Does look like she might want a bit more cut in the track, though.
I'm just going to wait and see on Wolverine. She's been pretty poor in her first couple of runs as preparation, but you would have seen that. George, looks as though good work.
It was good work, and it was amazing sectionals that she gave in this exhibition gallop at Ottawa Park. And yeah, I know she's been disappointing, but she's got the class factor, and maybe it will come back to her on Saturday. And if it does, she'll be a very competitive chance, but there's an element of doubt there.
Arisa looks really well suited in this race. 53 kilos. She's drawn barrier 1. She's raced at Te Rapa 5 times before placing, so she definitely enjoys the track. And look, Warren Kennedy's on fire at the moment as well.
Run of the race for mine in this particular event of the contenders for Saturday. Got back, hit the line strongly. Should find a much better spot Saturday. Looks tough to beat.
Yeah, he can give her a nice ride, just 3 or 4 back on the rail, not spending a penny, and she'll finish off strongly, Arish. And yeah, from the handy barrier draw, I think she's going to be a live, realistic winning chance.
Cognito's been super at Pokakoe. He gets to Te Rapa. Look, he's got 53 kilos, is going to suit him. He's going to get back from the draw of barrier 11, so he's going to need a little bit of luck in the home straight, but he is in good form at the moment.
Oh, he's a horse, when he puts it all together, George, can put up a massive performance, and we saw that a couple of starts ago, but look, he's going well on the evidence of this. Might just get a little bit further back than maybe wanted.
His chances will rest on the leaders going hard. If they don't, and if they ease the tempo mid-race, it'll be hard for him to win. But if they overdo it in front, he's capable of finishing over the top of them.
It's a tough race to analyse, but I just think Alley Cat's going to jump and put itself in a dominant position from there. This horse has been underrated a lot of times for Vicky, and I think from a forward position, if it gets the right run, it can really lead them a long way in this particular race. I think it's some decent sort of value.
I'm going to go for Romance in the Moon. 54 kilos is going to, 5 kilos off Alley Cat. I think Cozzy knows the horse well now, so she can just probably Posy just behind the speed. I think she's going to be awfully hard on Saturday.
I was desperate to get in ahead of Leith Innes because I'm also tipping Romancing the Moon. I think she's ready to, she'll appreciate the trip. She'll be getting a nice ride throughout, and I think she'll, on the strength of her last start performance, when she was attacking the line, I think she's a realistic winning chance on Saturday, even though we've put the mocker on her by tipping her both. Leith and I tipping her out.
At least it's not all 3, so we got a couple there. That's a look at the open sprint. Now let's have a look at the Sky City Hamilton Waikato Cup, race number 8 on the card. It is headed by Aromatic. She's at $3. Money for Dionysus here, $3.60 into 3s. And then you're getting out to Mary Louise at $6 with Canny Rock at $6.50. So looking to pick up that elusive win. Form videos, so we'll take you to Prix de Feu firstly and take you back to the Group 3 Eagle Tech Stakes. What did you make of his performance here?
Yeah, it was really good, puppy. Loves Te Rapa. I just put a line for his last start at Wellington. We all knew what happened before. They've probably run 400 metres, and being an older horse, he probably didn't really enjoy going back again from the second time round. Look, Michael McNabb on. I know he's got 58 kilos, but it's a pretty compressed sort of handicap.
Just hard to get a line on this horse, George, whether he's going as well as previous seasons. This is a good effort. Older horses generally take that a little longer to come up.
Yeah, the 2,400 metres too is something that we've got to take into consideration for Prix de Feu. But he brings a class factor to the race, and the race that, to be fair, is probably not the strongest edition of the Waikato Cup, and it's got a long tail as well. So his class factor will keep him in the race.
Yeah, Aromatic, she's been so consistent. She never runs a bad race. Look, she gets in with 55 kilos. Last year she ran 3rd in the Waikato Cup with 54 kilos, so she's got a kilo more, but look, she's in great form at the moment, and, you've got to have her in the top 3.
Gee, honest horse. Just one that you'd love to own. She was very, very good this day. Look, if you get the best version of Dionysus, I think he's well capable of winning this race. He can be a little bit hit and miss, but he's a horse with a heck of a lot of ability, and I think he can turn the tables there.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't agree. I think Aromatic is definitely the one to beat. She had Dionysus well and truly covered in that race. She got to the lead a little bit probably sooner than what Opie would have liked, but fought on really strongly to the line. It took a good performance by one bold cat to get up and beat it. But yeah, I think Aromatic is really poised to shine brightly on Saturday.
Mary Louise is really good 2 starts ago at Trentham. She looked like she's well placed at Te Rapa. I just put a line for that last run at Wanganui where It was a truly run race, and she got back, and look, some horses just don't like that tricky Wanganui track either. So, back to 53 kilos, Craig Grill's on. She's got to be a top 4 chance for me.
One Bobcat, Mary Louise, not a lot between them. You saw One Bobcat beat Aromatic previously. That's down Cry to the inside, who went 2 races on Saturday when ended up running into 5th or 6th position and was massive. So I've got a big opinion of this mare. Forgive Wanganui, couldn't run on any horses on the day. I think she's right in the mix.
Yeah, definitely. A huge factor is the Craig Grills, Robbie Patterson combination. They have a wonderful strike rate when they team up, when he brings his horses north, and also down in the CD too when Craig goes down there to ride. So yeah, she'll be a competitive chance, Mary Louise.
I'll stick with the CD. We're going to fight for the CD here. I think Mary Louise is an emerging talent again for Robbie Patterson, another horse that'll be in the Senior Cups come this summer. So Mary Louise for me at odds.
Yeah, I'm all over Dionysies. I think 53 kilos, Warren Kennedy on. Look, he's drawn out a little bit. They've been a small field, 2,500 metres. He ran second in the race last year. I think he'd be winning this week. Aromatic
for me. I think with Opie aboard again, looking to cap off some wonderful, consistent form in his last 2 starts. Both of those efforts have been the runs of a horse that is capable of winning a Waikato Cup. I think Aromatic will be very hard to beat in the Cup.
There you go. The guys might have just tipped you the trifecta in the Waikato Cup as we have a look at the 3-year-old race now, sponsored by Wentwood Grange. This is over the 1,200 metres, headed in the betting by Tokyo Tycoon. Punter's happy to take the $2. He's into $1.85. Quintessa at 3.6 in this market, and then you're getting out to Ethereal Star at $5.50. Once again, let's take you back to some form videos. We'll start with Tokyo Tycoon. Leith, what did you think of his recent trial here at Taupo?
Yeah, it was good. He's one of those horses that we all know. He's a real race day horse, so I can't really take too much out of a trial, but he looked nice and well. He's fit. The best thing about Saturday, it's a small field, so even with the 58.5 kilo, he's not going to be too far off them in the speed.
Pretty big prize coming up in January, so that's his big goal. I think he's a wonderful story, this horse, George. When he walked in at Hastings, I thought, look, it's the pony that the real horse with, but gee, he was amazing.
Yeah, he was very good on race day. I thought the trial wasn't anything to write home about. And the thing that gets you about Tokyo Tycoon is his lack of size. He is a midget. But boy, he's got a motor, and once again, he'll be competitive. People seem to think at this early stage of the week that he is the one that's going to win the race. They're all over him at $1.85.
Dragon was really good last start at Tiara Hard. Look, he probably from barrier 1, he does look like the natural leader in the race. And Najan Palmer on as well, claims 1, so he gets down to that perfect 56 kilos. So he's improving. Definitely might take a bit of confidence out of this one as well.
Yeah, improving horse, but I think it's Tokyo Tycoon. We matched the form up. Pendragon sort of sits a couple of tiers behind, but I did like a little bit of stretch there late in that particular race.
It was a nice win, but the class is a steep rise in class for the horse on Saturday against Tokyo Tycoon and Quintessa and Ethereal Star, just to name 3 of them.
Quintessa had a really nice quiet trial at Te Awamutu, which she wasn't knocked around. And it would have been a hard choice for Opie if he stuck with Tokyo Tycoon or this filly. Look, I know she's had a little hiccup in between her last win, but look, she looks super in this heat.
She's got a lot of upside, Quintessa. This is a nice trial. I love what I saw through Hastings. Really going to be watching this horse going forward, George. I think it's one that will really develop well.
She loves race day. She's unbeaten in 3 starts to date, so she knows how to get the job done on race day, and that trial would have brought her on quite nicely.
Ethereal Star was another one, had a nice quiet hit out at the trials. Look, she's done a little bit of travelling. We know she's been to Melbourne, but look, she's top class. She's definitely the smaller field's going to suit her. 56 kilos, Craig Gould knows her, and look, it's going to be a pretty interesting race, but I think Andrew Forson's got her going in the right direction.
Well, there's a big spruik on this particular horse, and that was soft at the trials. He's pricked. Looks as though it's powered up a little bit since we first saw it, and Andrew does not travel for no reason.
Purely for greed of the price, I think she's a one for me in the race. She's about $5.50 at the moment. Tokyo Tycoon's too short for me at $1.85, but I love that trial of Ethereal Star. She went to the line nicely, and she'll come on with the natural improvement. She's had a bit of a tough campaign, went to Melbourne, of course, raced over there, and she's raced in Town Hall company virtually her entire career. And yeah, she's going to be right there on Saturday.
Yeah, I really like this filly by Deep Field. Look, I know it was at Taranaki and it was a sort of leaders run races, but look, she's got 55 kilos, barrier 2. I think she might get a soft lead, just, outside the leader. And she looks like a professional racehorse to me. And look, the second horse came out and won at Hawke's Bay yesterday as well.
Yeah, really good performance on debut. Hugged the rail, and you plumb tight turning corner, George, off and gone, but looks talented.
Looks very talented, lightly raced, just her second start. She's beautifully bred, and Tony Pike has his team firing up on all cylinders at the minute. And yeah, there's a lot to like about this race. Once again, it's a big step up in class against the likes of Tokyo Tycoon and Quintessa and Ethereal Star, who've been there and done that.
I'm going with the classic, Tokyo Tycoon. I couldn't be more taken with him at Hastings when he was dominant. We know what he did as a 2-year-old. I think at 90% fit, he is the obvious one you have to be on. But there's a fair bit of potential in this race, and it might just be a technical battle. Yeah,
no doubt it's going to be a great race. I'm not sure about Tokyo Tycoon at $1.80, but wanted to change. I just like what I saw at Taranaki. I think, Michael just outside the leader, and look, if they don't go overly hard, I think she could sprint off that bend and definitely win the race.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with the boys. I think Ethereal Star on Saturday will be very, very hard to beat. I just love that trial the other day. She's always had quality right from day one, and I think she's ready to win on Saturday.
There you go. It's going to be an absolute great contest, one you want to watch as well leading into January. And make sure you tune into all the action. We'll have Brendan Popwell, Lee Finnis, Aidan Rodley, and of course George Simon on course to call the action.
And big time Megan up to the corner, big time Rua. Levi Bale looms up the outside, gets in the telling bounds. Levi Bale beats big time Rua, big time Silky, big time Zola.
War of Succession took over at the 150, put 2 lengths on. Little Miss Wonder, who continues to plug away, and behind them the Storyteller running on late from Groomsman, but the short price favourite is home in the first. War of Succession too good. Oscar Bonavina leading rip up the lane. Oscar Bonavina dives through for another Group 1 win. Oscar Bonavina won the free-for-all and beat home the Majestic Man.
Yes, a few best bets home last weekend. Hopefully we can find you some more this weekend. Leith, who are you with?
Going to T2 race 5 on Saturday. Tarapa Academy Award. Sam Spratt rode her last start. She knows the filly. She's drawn barrier 3. She'll give her a great ride from there. She might lead or sit outside the leader. And look, she's been running some really strong races, and she's due a good turn. And look, $4.20 on offer. I think it's great money.
I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to take you to Saturday as well. And a Fraser Ulrich 3-year-old, Ivor Mission, will be in race number 6. Big, strong staying horse who'll stay all day. I think we'll be in the mix in a decent sort of 3-year-old staying race this season. And I'll tip you each way. It's about $11,350, $3 top 4 Ivor Mission.
I'm going to Tirapa on Saturday, and it's in the Cup, the Sky City Hamilton Waikato Cup. It's number 2, Aromatic. I think she deserves to win. She's run second at her last 2 starts, and they've both been behind good horses. One Bold Cat and Aquacade, both at Group 3 level. So she's been competing against the best, and she's been there or thereabouts. I think on Saturday she's going to be awfully hard to beat in the Sky City Hamilton Waikato Cup.
And I'll start us off on Friday evening, a Greyhound Big Time Zola for Lisa Cole. She downgrades, comes back into the red rug. She hasn't been far away in heats of the Dash for Cash in a really nice race last start. A little bit tardy off the lids. I'd like to see her get out better, but I think she will, coming back to C4 company. Here's a summary. I'll start us off with Zola. Carbon for Whale at Alexandra Park on Friday. Academy Award for Leith. George is with Aromatic, and Bevan is with the Ivor Mission. That completes the show today. It's been a fun show, that's for sure, gentlemen. Certainly behind the scenes.
Certainly behind the scenes. It's about take 18. We finally got there, Georgie, but we won't bring us back to Auckland ever again.
No, it's been good. It's been a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed Dan the Weatherman, Lee Finnis. His performances today has been outstanding.
His Air Jordan's amazing.
Yeah, have you found it, Leith, over there at the big screen, all alone on your own?
Yeah, it's a bit lonely over here, Pat, but it's been great to see George in the studio and Bevan.
There you go. That concludes the show. We wish you all the best of luck for your endeavours. Until next week, ka kite ia.